Well, another day, another new diagnosis. It's now Friday. The day started fine. Breakfast in Building A was a semmel and a slice of black bread, but a yogurt was there as well. So not quite as bad as Building 8, but not as good as Building 5 either. Lunch was interesting. A bowl of soup for starter, then hot black currants with topfen dumplings, followed by raspberry cream and another yogurt. So out of the 4 items, 3 of them pudding. Which is an unusual lunch even for me. Now, yesterday the doctors had said I could go home today, so, after hearing nothing all day, at around 2:30 I went and asked the nurses if I could actually go home today as promised. I don't think so, said the nurse. What did the doctor said to you? The doctor said I just need antibiotics. Oh. Okay, she said I need you to speak with the doctors again. 2 minutes later 4 doctors turn up and started speaking very quickly in German. Which is something that I still struggle with even if they were not speaking in medical German. But one phrase kept coming up time and time again. Upside down stomach. After the machine gun blast of information that was that meeting, they said to me, "Did you understand all of that?" Not every word, no. I must be honest. No problem, we come back later to explain everything to you. Okay, so at this point all I know is my stomach is upside down, but I don't know why. Was I born like that, like a mutant, or has it happened over time, like what happens with some big dogs? I will know more as the day or days develops. Right, I have more information now. On the balance of probably, for reasons best known to itself, my stomach has moved itself over time. As the doctor was kind enough to explain. My stomach should go down and to the right, but mine goes up and to the right. This is a problem because the pipework wasn't designed to work that way. Also there is no closure at the top, now bottom, of my stomach to keep the acid in. This too could be a problem. And if these things either are already a problem, or could become a problem in the future, then the answer involves cutting sizable holes in me to move my internal organs about. Not my idea of a pleasant way to spend a summer's afternoon. As such, my gastroscopy has now been moved from 6 to 8 weeks away, to 48 hours away. This is both good news and a bit worrying. I am always a big believer in that the best thing to happen to you at a hospital is waiting. It means you're not serious. Always pity the poor bastards who don't get the luxury of being told they can wait. Being jumped to the front of the queue is not always, or ever really, a good sign. The conversation about the diverticulitis has moved forward as well. There is a technique used in a state agency called a 2-stage letdown. This is where you have bad news, like the buyer is pulling out, but you know the vendor will take this information very badly, so you soften the blow. So what you do is you tell the vendor on the first day that you have worries about the buyer. For example, you tell them you are not sure if he's a man of his word. Then 24 hours later you call them back to let them know, yup, we were right, he's pulling out. This 2-stage approach helps to give the vendor time to mentally prepare for the bad news and keeps them from freaking out too much. Well, I can't help but feel the doctors are doing a 4 or 5-stage letdown on me at the moment. With the diverticulitis, the conversation started with, we treat it with antibiotics, and then it changed to, have you ever had surgery on your bowels before? And now it's the operation is a relatively easy one. We just open you up and take a piece of the lower intestine out. There is definitely a progression happening here. Also, they have, very notably, left out the colostomy bag bit. I know there is a colostomy bag bit because my brother had this operation. This does seem to be a technique with them. Last time it was, hey, drink this contrast middle. It helps with the image for the CT machine turning into hold still while I ram this tube up your arse. This time feels they are about to have my shorts down again. Albeit metaphorically this time. But having all this time on my hands has given me some excellent opportunity for more radio. Radio Fabric is as barking mad as always. I have just listened to an epic hour-long poem that alternated between English and German and was heavily interspersed with Bob Dylan songs that were being used to illustrate the story. My love for the unrelenting unpredictability of Radio Fabric will never die. Having said that, Radio FM4 is joining the battle too for coolest station around. They, like Radio Fabric, just work on the basis that everyone can speak several languages, and hold conversations where all the parties speaking different languages. As well as this, they had a Northern Soul Hour the other night. They regularly play 10 songs in a row without interruption. They play lots of modern lo-fi, trippy, Austrian music, none of which is fucking Schlager, and at midday today for 1 hour we had a proper club mix. Not dancey pop songs mix, not commercial dance mix. A proper club mix, like something from a Head Candy CD, on a weekday in the middle of the day, at lunchtime nonetheless. It was awesome. Saturday. Couldn't sleep if I'm honest. Got about 4 hours, which is fairly shit considering I'm not manic at the moment. I have set drinking coffee since 5 o'clock, and am now tucking into a bit of bread and jam for breakfast.